Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, I am back with the next remaining topics of this chapter. Now, talking about organizational climate. Now, how the impact theory of leadership strategies I discussed with you in the last video. Let's get on to the next one. As you can see here, subordinate ability, the path goal theory. Now, what is a subordinate ability? Is nothing but in a path goal, as we know the path to get to the goal of any organization for reaching its objectives. That is what we are talking about, and the ability of any subordinate, that is leadership, under whom the employees work, and how those employees can get to those paths, or the important areas the leadership has for making those subordinate work on those particular path. So the path goal theory, that is a theory of leadership stating that leaders will be effective if their behavior helps subordinates achieve relevant goals. Now for that, behavior leadership styles to handle each situation, there are instrumental style, supportive style, participative style, achievement oriented style. Now, if you see this instrumental style and participative style, there are so many important areas like plan, organize, control. Supportive is show concern for employees. Participative is share information and lets employees participate. Achievement oriented is set challenges, goals, and rewards and increase in performance. Similarly, in a situation leadership, now we have just checked path goal theory. Now, in a situation leadership theory, in a subordinate ability, a theory of leadership stating that effective leaders must adopt their style of leadership to fit both the situation and the followers, means the employees who are going to follow the leader. There are two variables of situational leadership theory. What it means here is how are these employees going to follow the leader to bring about that particular goal, and how does the situational favorability or that leadership theory is going to take its turn, that is delegating, directing, supporting, and coaching is the behavioral styles of a leader. Now what actually the variable in the situation of behaviors is once a delegation. Now we will be checking all this in the next slides. Let us understand delegating, directing, supporting, and coaching. Well, let me tell you first how is a delegating. What is delegating? A delegating is something you trying to give authority or a duty to someone after he has achieved those important areas of expertise. Directing someone who has to be trained. Like in this scenario, if you see, particularly, this particular diagram will make you understand more clearly. Now for delegating, if you see this R4 over here, in this delegating is a person, means an employee who is able, and a person that is an employee is willing. In that kind of a scenario, the leader will be delegating him. And in a situation where a person that is an employee is able and an employee is unwilling, then he will be given supporting, for example. Now, if you see directing, I'm just going from down because in the last slide I showed delegating first, but you can take it as R1, R2 or R3 if you want to follow from this slide only. Now directing is when an employee is unable and an employee is unwilling, because unable and unwilling. So you need to direct him, boss, please do the work, finish the task on that, and the leader comes and makes him understand how important are the tasks and how he needs to be more clear. And when an employee is willing and an employee is unable, but he is not able to do it, That is called coaching. In a situation where the leadership theory states about a ability of the subordinate to go give, and he is willing, in the same situation for supporting. When an employee is able and the particular employee is unwilling, that is, he is able to do it, but because of any circumstances, or he is not happy with the leader or subordinates, he'll say, no, I'm not wanting to do this. But he has the skills, he has the expertise, and the importance where he can do it. So these are the variables of leadership styles. But first, behavioral. Now followers. Now followers are ability and willingness to perform a particular task. Let us understand the relationship, the fourth point, between the subordinates, that is LMX theory. LMX is nothing but leader member exchange theory. This concentrates on the leadership between leaders and subordinates. These interactions are called leader member exchanges. The theory states that leaders develop different roles and relationships with people under them, and thus act differently with different subordinates. That is why it's called LMX and leader member exchange theory. Subordinates fall into either in group or out group, when they have groups who are supporting those leaders and supporting them on characterized by high quality relationship with the leader, and out group is characterized by a low quality relationship with the leader. So in group employees are more satisfied because they get everything from the leader, whom they are very much with the leader, and perform at a higher levels, are less likely to leave the organization, and they are more satisfied. So here the specific leader skills are leadership through decision making, leadership through contact, leadership through power, leadership through vision, leadership through authenticity. Again, students, I want to remind you, please read the textbook also. This chapter is important. You might, or you will be getting assignment 3 from this chapter in week 12, either on something to do with leadership skills. I will be notifying you through the blackboard. Now, leadership through decision making is one model which is prescribed in your textbook, that is the Rome-Yetton model, that is a theory of leadership that concentrates on helping a leader choose how to make a decision. One, leadership through contact, that is management by walking around, that is MWA. You cannot just understand, a particular situation. A leader cannot sit in one place and manage the show in an organization. He has to walk around the organization and hold that managers are most effective when they are out of their offices, walking around, meeting with their subordinates and talking to employees and customer about their needs and progress. So that is called MWA, management by walking around. And leadership through power. Power has its own importance on how to control. Leaders who have power are able to obtain more resources, dictate policy, and advance further in an organization than who'd have little or no power. That is, the basic types of powers are expert power, legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, or referent power. You can read all of them and understand it. It's nothing much more on this. And leadership through vision. Vision is something having a foresight, means how a leader can foresee something, a style in which leader focuses on task-oriented behaviors. And transformational leadership is visionary leadership, in which the leader changes the nature and goals of an organization. Characters of a good leader are vision, differentiation, values, transmission of vision and values, and flaws. Flaws means mistakes. So now, as I just told you, leadership through authenticity means a leader who is stating that leaders should be honest, open, and lead out a desire of To serve others rather than a desire for a self gain or selfishness. A leader becomes more self aware by reflecting on their own ethics, core beliefs, and values. So, this, I think we have come to the end of this chapter. I would be leaving this video here and will be coming back with the next video, the next class, or the next week. I mean to say, thank you very much. Stay safe. Have a good day. Bye, gentlemen.